Hey everybody, welcome to the Nat Daddy Weekly Roundup. It is March 1st. Can't believe that we've made it all the way through to March already. Congrats everybody who survived winter. Let's jump into the show. Got a few books to look at this week, literally just a handful of books, 7. Very, very light week. So it's going to be a shorter episode, but managed to squeeze in something a little extra surprise here to fill some of that extra time that we do have in that. So let's jump into that. First, let's thank all our sponsors. We got 204 Comics. We will mention them a little bit more later on because we'll go over the FOCs and make sure everybody gets those pull lists full. As we've seen over the last few weeks, maybe the last couple of months even, there have been a lot of hot books that come out the day of and you can't get because maybe your shop didn't order enough, or maybe it's just a hot book all of a sudden, it was under ordered, and either you're not getting it, or if you do find a copy of that, you're paying way higher on the secondary market, like all those Ultimate books, for example. So do check that out. Like I said, later on the show, we'll have the FOC, and we have a Blaze Comics as well too. Blaze Comics has been nice enough to send us previews of their new comics in that. So we will jump into that right away because we have a preview of a new book from theirs that comes out next week. Quite looking forward to that. The preview that we have so far look interesting. And also we have ourselves as well too. So we have all our exclusives as well here too. Do check them out. They're great books in that. Love to sell you a copy. That's all I can say about that. Oh, also too, I always forget to mention that it'd be great if you could support us as well too by signing on to one of our few social media accounts there, the Instagram, the Facebook, and YouTube. Always got great content there, and I'm constantly trying to put new and different stuff up as well. So let me know in the comments if there's something you do like seeing, or if something pops up you don't like seeing. Just let me know, because that's how we tailor to you guys. All right, let's jump into the books that we have for this week. First book we have this week from Marvel is What If Venom. They've been doing these one-shots instead of doing like a regular series. This one here is not a one-shot. It is multiple books there. I was kind of surprised at the end of this issue that it does continue on to other stories. What it is here is it's the time period where Spider-Man is in the church getting rid of the symbiote suit that he's realized that it wants to attach to him. In that famous scene at the Web of Spider-Man #1, and that where he's, or at the end of the Spider-Man there, where he's getting in the church tower and using the bell sonics to knock the suit off him, and that the suit's left behind kind of in the church area there. It survives, and it ends up bonding to Eddie Brock and become Venom. Well, this is the Dark What If universe here, so all that does happen, but at the same time, instead of bonding to Eddie as Venom, it actually bonds to She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters. So we see that goes on there, and then it's going to keep going through the rest of the Marvel universe as well too, looking to grab onto other hosts as well. So at the end of this issue, it looks like it's going to maybe link up or interact with Wolverine, and then we can see on the cover here as well too, it looks like it's going to go after Doctor Strange in that as well too at some point. So this is very similar to a What If story that was in the 90s series. What if the Spider-Man kept the symbiote suit, I believe it was called. So I found it quite familiar to that, but I did enjoy that. Great What If story, and if you're a Venom fan too. Also from Marvel this week, we got another new volume of the Spider-Punk series starting. So again, this stuff ties into the Spider-Verse stuff. So if anyone's a fan of the previous Spider-Punk stuff, this continues right on after it. I like it. It's got great artwork in that. I like how everything's kind of music related a little bit. It's a good story. Like I said, I don't remember if I actually finished off the last bit of the last Spider-Punk volume in that. So when I did pick this up at first, it did seem, it took me a couple of moments or a couple of pages to kind of refamiliarize myself with the story and that, but it was a good story. Like I said, I really do like the artwork on here. And what else is there? Oh, our friend from the channel, Mariah Wolf, does the 1 in 25 covers. So she's done a few of the Spider-Punk covers, and they're all pretty cool. Maria Wolf. So do check that one out if you're a fan of Hobie Brown as the Spider-Punk. Publishing again, first time in many years, is Penthouse Comics, published in the magazine format, so kind of that prestige size there. Very true to the original format in that. You got, I think it's four comic stories in there in the beginning, all very adult themed for sure. That's definitely not for kids in that. They're not singular stories. They're kind of like serials, so each one is like a chapter, and they'll continue on in that. So I did enjoy the stories there. Some of them were kind of space cowboy. Some of them were kind of futuristic. So very enjoyable that way. Great artwork as well. And being, I thought it was just going to be comics, but it does have more magazine stuff in there as well too. It does have like a few different articles in there about some movies, again, adult related, and a small photo shoot as well too, like straight out of Penthouse itself. So if you do pick this up, make sure you don't leave it lying around for your kids and that to see, because like I said, it is straight up Penthouse pornography. But yeah, the comics are good if you like that type of art, and if you like that type of comic with a the adult body and that in it, but good stories as well too. So I did enjoy it. For American Mythology Productions, we have Valentine Bluffs Massacre. This is kind of like a sequel and a universe growing. I would say that universe growing sequel type thing, or expanding from the old Valentine's Day Massacre movie from the 80s, the slasher. And it's pretty enjoyable too. American Mythology Productions seems to be do that quite a bit, take the old 80s slasher films and start making new stories with them and that. So they've done it with Silent Night and what was the other one? I can't remember what the other one was, but they're fun. So if you like slasher movie, thriller stuff, type like that, this is a good pickup too. Again, it was released for Valentine's Day, so that's kind of neat as well. If anybody's not familiar with the Valentine's Massacre stuff, it's about this crazy kind of miner guy that goes around killing people and that. So this is fun. I enjoyed it. Again, this one's not for kids either, but great artwork in here too. A lot better than I expected. So. Next book from the Energon universe. We've talked so much about this, not just this series, but all the books that kind of tie into this series from that new Skybound Image universe there. This is Duke, issue 3. Duke is locked up in the jail with Baroness and a couple other people. People are trying to kill him. The people at Cobra's trying to infiltrate the base there, so there's lots going on. The story doesn't get furthered too much in this issue. It does introduce some new characters that we're familiar with. Major Blood gets introduced in here, although albeit very briefly. I won't go into too any more about that. So that's kind of a neat little surprise in there too. Like I've mentioned before, when it comes to all these Cobra Commander, Duke, Transformers books, they do rely a lot on the original material and characters, which is great, but every issue does seem to have kind of some kind of shock and surprise in there, so that's kind of neat, and this issue does that as well too. So I am liking this a lot. Great artwork in here too. Joshua Williamson's doing awesome with this stuff, so do check it out. From Titan, we have the Savage Sword of Conan. Much like that Penthouse comics, this is also magazine size, which is the only way that this should be read, because the old Savage Sword of Conan stuff from, I think it was from Marvel or Charlton, which was Marvel, was done in that black and white large magazine format too. So this is straight, I would say straight up almost replica, homage of new stuff from that. Has a great story at the beginning. Has that newsprint and that newsprint smell to it. So again, brings back the nostalgia feelings there. Has a Solomon Kane story in there. So that one's kind of fun too. Solomon Kane, the monster hunter. And then also has the text story in the background too. Final pages, which I always thought was a neat thing that they always put in those Conan and Red Sonja, anything Robert Howard. They would always put the text story in the back as well. So running throughout the whole magazine series like serial. So I did enjoy this. Super large size. I have it right here. So again, quite a good deal size-wise for $6.99. Great art, multiple stories. The only thing is, because it is in black and white and newsprint, I think they kind of printed it a little bit too dark some places, so it kind of seems a little bit dark, a little bit muddy, but again, that kind of goes with the same kind of theme of like that 70s and 80s comic strip newsprint feel look to it. So I enjoyed that book quite a bit too. So that and the Duke were my kind of picks of the week. And like I said, I did read all the other books this week, but the last one that kind of only stood out is worth mentioning, and this one's kind of a preview because it doesn't come out till next week. Like I said, Blaze does send me previews of their new books in that digital format, so I got to read this today. I don't even think it was the full issue. I think it was just partially, maybe 3/4 of it, and I enjoyed it so far. It's about it's in the 70s, and it's about this guy this guy and this girl that are kind of interviewing and want to take pictures and do a story about this old Italian gangster, and his name is Torpedo, and he's retired and he's old and that, so they kind of dig him up in that, and they want to, like I said, do this interview and take pictures of him and that. So he allows them to do that for charging him all fees and that, but he's still he's still a gangster. He's still a bad guy when he's old and that, so his habits come up pretty fast, and he ends up raping and doing bad things to the girl, and he's still doing his things even though he's an old man. So kind of neat story there. Very much it says there from the artist 100 Bullets, so it does have that feel to it, that old kind of old hard-boiled detective noir thing. So I think about that 70s feel as well too, because it does take place in the 70s. So I liked it a lot. I'll be looking forward to it when it does come out next week. So thanks to Blaze for letting us take a peek at that early. All right. That's the books that were out this week. Let's look at the books that you need to look at for the FOC this week. So get these into your shop by Saturday evening to guarantee yourself hopefully a copy of this. Like I said, we use 204 Comics with the League of Comic Geeks and that. You can go right on the website or on the app. Hopefully if your comic shop's linked right to them, you just make your picks right on the app there, and then boom, bang, you get them in that. So this week's FOC dates are March 27th. You got the Image books. So there, one of the main books that you want maybe to try out there is Feral #1. And that's from the guys that did Stray Dogs. This time it's cats. You got Sam and Twitch Case File. So anybody that's a Sam and Twitch fan. You got the Black Mask books. Your Boom books, Ablaze, Dynamite, Udon, which has a new Street Fighter series, and your Oni books. Your DC books, which has that new Batman Dark Age. That's going to be a neat one. And Titan. Titan was that company that we just saw that does the Conan books now. April 3rd, you have your Opus books. You have Marvel with the Edge of a Spider-Verse #1. So again, more Spider-Verse stuff. And Spider-Man Shadow of the Green Goblin #1 as well too. That's going to be a new series that does a look at the Green Goblin back when it was first happening. So again, one of those storylines that dives back into story that already happened. April 17th, you have your Dark Horse books. So again, get those into your FOC for your picks, into your LCS to guarantee that. And not just the books themselves. Maybe there's a certain cover you want, a variant or a ratio in that. So lots of those books nowadays have the foil covers and that, but it's all very limited. So talk to your shop owner to hopefully get the ones that you want. All right. So like I said, it's kind of a shorter episode so far because we didn't have too many books I found that were worth pointing out to you guys this week. Figure I'll fill in my time here with a little bit of, let's see here. I got a little bit of a wicked mail call today. So these are all from an artist called Dustin Ridgen. lives in Western Canada and that. He's on Facebook and Instagram and that, so do check him out if you're interested in any of his work and stuff. He's a pretty amazing guy. I like it. First off, this is a sketch. This is a pencil sketch, and it looks like a photo, but it's a pencil sketch. It does amazing work of George Perez on a blank cover, and this is one of the last few books that was able to be signed by George Perez before he passed away there. Rest in peace. So this one will probably always stay in my collection. George Perez, one of my favorite artists ever, so that's pretty cool. 9/8, signed by George Perez, and artist work by Dustin Ridgen. Same thing here again. This one is not signed, but we got blank cover Thor #1, and this time Justin did Chris Helmsworth at Thor in color. Another pretty amazing book. These are such an amazing true light. They almost look like photos. Every time I see him do work, it always blows my mind. We got a Wonder Woman 750 blank cover, and he did color Gal Gadot. Pretty awesome looking there as well. Being a wrestling fan we got this Bloodline, daughter of the Blade book. So Bloodline is the new daughter of Blade the Vampire Hunter. And as soon as I saw there was going to be a blank cover for that, I knew I had to get this for the WWE Bloodline there. So we got Roman Reigns and the Uso brothers and Sami Zayn at the bottom there in the homage to the Queen album cover. So that was pretty awesome though too. And finally, another one that was just truly blows my mind. We got an amazing fantasy replica cover here. We got Aunt May, Marissa Tomei, Aunt May from the Spider-Man movies and that, and a pretty amazing one as well too. So again, these are all hand-sketched drawings by Dustin Ridgen, artist out of Western Canada. All right, everybody. Thought you might enjoy those. Otherwise, I will see you all next week. Maybe check the channel and maybe squeeze in an Omni review over the weekend, see how it goes there. But the one I'm working on right now, the Alpha Flight, is a pretty big boy. So otherwise, I will see you all next week. Peace out.